want to take a moment and give a big thanks to my patrons, as well as Dreams in the Witch House Rock Opera for allowing me to use their amazing music in this video. If you like cosmic horror and great music, check out their rock opera based on Lovecraft's harrowing tale. I'll link it below. Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Inn. I'm your innkeeper, and today we will be discussing bonds for Delta Green, the role-playing game. A unique mechanic to Delta Green, the role-playing game is the bonds mechanic. No other game I've played has anything like this, and I think bonds is part of what sets Delta Green apart from other games. The bonds mechanic is a great way to use game mechanics to encourage roleplay and character development. So, what are bonds? Bonds represent the people that ground your agent and keep him connected to the real world, especially after encountering the horrors that lie in the darkness. An agent without bonds is more susceptible to losing their grip and going insane. Bonds can be family, co-workers, friends, or even groups of people, like your softball tournament team or your bowling league buddies. Even Delta Green can be a bond. When you first create your agent, you get a number of bonds based on your occupation. More demanding occupations have less bonds because your agent doesn't have as much time for a personal life. Your bonds can help shape your agent's story and motivations, which are also something you add during agent creation. Your bonds all start with a score equal to your charisma score, and their score will decrease as your agent faces traumatizing situations. You can regain lost points in your bonds by using home scenes to help fix those relationships, but your score can never be higher than your charisma score. We'll discuss home scenes in a future video. If a bond score ever hits 0, that bond is broken permanently and cannot be healed. A bond with an individual can become 0 if that individual dies. If you have a bond with a group or organization, that bond only breaks permanently if every person in that group or organization dies. Because bonds are a game mechanic, there is a mechanical function to it. You can use bonds to help you in several ways. When you lose sanity, regardless of the cause, you can try to reduce the loss by projecting to a bond. You roll 1d4 and reduce your willpower, not the willpower times 5, just the willpower score, by that amount. You then reduce the sanity loss by the amount that you rolled. You also reduce a bond by the same amount. In terms of role-playing implications, you may want to describe what aspect of your bond your agent thinks about that helps them keep it together. Then, next time your agent sees that bond, roleplay how the cause of the sanity loss has now impacted your relationship with that bond. Did your agent think about playing catch with his son while trying to push onward while being hunted by an unnatural creature? Next time your agent sees his son and his son wants to play catch, maybe your agent can't get himself to do so, causing a strain in his relationship with his son. If an event causes an agent to go temporarily insane or suffer an episode of an acute disorder, you may spend 1d4 willpower, reducing a bond by the same amount. You may then attempt a sanity roll. If you succeed, you're able to repress the insanity or disorder, nullifying their effects during that one instance. I go into a little bit more detail in this in my sanity video, which I will link in the video description. Another great use for bonds is the ability to call upon them for assistance during an operation. This one is a bit more tricky as it might require your agent to lie to their bond or keep information from them about the reason for the request. If your handler allows you to call upon your bond, you may roll a charisma times 5 check, adding your bond score as a bonus. Depending on the request, your handler may assign a difficulty penalty of -20, -40, or -60%. If you succeed, you may be able to get assistance from your bond. For example, if your bond is a person who works for the cell phone company and you need to get cell phone records of a subject you're currently investigating, you may be able to call upon your bond and get those records, provided you succeed on the roll. This can backfire, of course. If you fail your charisma roll, you may put a strain on your bond because you're making a request that is probably something they shouldn't be doing for you, and therefore your relationship with that bond might suffer. You can gain new bonds during home scenes, and we'll talk more about that in a future video. And also during special operations where your handler assigns them to your character. For example, during a very important and deadly operation, your handler may assign Delta Green as a bond. If your operation causes your agent to gain temporary insanity, a new disorder, or a teammate is killed during the operation, or really any other traumatic event, your handler may add every surviving member of your team as a Delta Green bond. If this happens, all your other bonds lose 1d4 points, but you gain a bond for each surviving teammate equal to half your charisma score. Bonds are a great mechanic that allow for some fantastic roleplay opportunities during a Delta Green game or campaign. It's unique to Delta Green, and it's one of the mechanics that sets it apart from other games, and it's one of my favorite mechanics for Delta Green, the role-playing game. I do hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please consider leaving a like, because that tells me to make more videos just like it. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them down there in the comments below. As always, this is your Innkeeper, Vase Odin, at the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Check in anytime. I'll talk with you then.